Hello, my name is Morgan Duerr. I am currently getting my master's in Human Services Counseling with a focus on marriage and family. I held a group meeting here at my house. It was on a Tuesday evening and it began at 6 and ended at 7:30. It was about an hour and a half long. The location was in my house in the living room. They'd all been here before, so I figured it would be a comfortable place for them to gather. And I had them all sit on the sectional living room. It was L-shaped, so it was almost kind of like in a circle. And I sat on the rug in the middle, so it kind of rounded out how we were sitting. I did have snacks and refreshments for them to enjoy while they were waiting for the members to get there. They sat on the couch, took their shoes off, just sat however made them feel comfortable. And there were 4 women who came. I have been friends with them for the past couple years, knowing them from either working with them, having their child in my class, or meeting them through a mutual friend. I did not use a co-leader. The nature and the purpose of this meeting was just to get everyone together and all the girls together and realize that they're not alone in their relationships in their past. They've been through similar things. I wanted them to find hope and see that their past and family histories don't have to define who they are, but that it does play a role in their experiences that they've gone through. And I wanted them to be able to process that and just see how it might have affected them in their life. And they stayed on the purpose. They even brought forth more information and connections that I even realized was going to happen. And I knew that just had to be God allowing that to just come out and let them connect even more. I began by welcoming, if we're looking at group dynamics from beginning to end, I welcomed them, thanked them for coming. I knew they knew each other, so I moved on to an exercise that was kind of fun to learn some interesting facts about each other. We played 2 truths and a lie, where each member has to come up with 2 true things about them and a lie, and we all try to guess and figure out which one. It was fun. It lasted approximately 10 minutes. And then after that, I stated the purpose for getting everyone together, which I previously mentioned. I told them that they all had, things in common from their past that I feel like, may have impacted who they are, and I knew that they weren't alone. And so, I mentioned relationships, drug use, family histories, that kind of stuff. And then the first member who spoke started off with, discussing the murder of her mother on her birthday. And all of a sudden, 2 other members spoke up and was like, oh my goodness, I had a murder in my family too. And they were all in a relation, it was between a married couple, so it had to do with relationships, and that it just went off from there. And I kind of helped process, guide it to go on and hit the other points that I felt would be good for them to discuss and talk about. And they received it well. They all communicated. It moved from discussion of that to drug use in the families and how it affected them, and how that might have changed their view on relationships, and just how they process emotions and how their actions might show how they've been impacted by that. Most of all the meeting was of just open discussion of everyone opening up and making those connections with each other. They responded very well, like I said, to the discussion on topics. I didn't know beforehand that there were several who were anxious and nervous, but I wouldn't have been able to tell with the conversation that kept going. They were very open. Every member got to talk multiple times. Thankfully, due to the small group size, my ability to notice when someone made a movement like they had something to share, I made sure to maybe cut off a member if they were just starting to ramble. And I was able to draw those members out and give them a chance to talk. I didn't provide any content for flyers or brochures or anything. I did start off by explaining that I felt many of them had the things in common in regards to family and relationships, that kind of thing. There was a high level of engagement. Like I said, every member spoke multiple times. one member had a lot to say, and I knew she would coming in there. And so, as a leader, I had to cut her off multiple times and allow someone else to be able to keep speaking what they were trying to say. And I felt like I did that in a respectful way, like we've been learning about in our text. I feel like my leadership style and techniques that I used were the relational style. I really wanted everyone to just make those connections and be able to open up and talk about that kind of stuff. As I was looking back on the meeting and reflecting and assessing myself, I feel like I did a decent job for my first time kind of trying to lead a group. My performance, there was multiple times where I was being intentional about what I was asking, and being aware and looking, using eye contact, that kind of stuff. I had a couple challenges, like cell phone use. I wanted to say something so bad, but I got nervous and didn't want to upset them or anything. So that was one of them, is, telling them, setting that norm to, we're not going to use cell phones. Opening the meeting, I feel like I could have maybe stated everything better. I don't know. Making a clear topic. I didn't use a dyad like I had planned on doing. I just didn't see an opportunity that it would be useful. I did feel like I did well at cutting off. I used my eyes to move around. A comfortable environment. Everyone had an opportunity to talk. I asked open-ended questions. And I feel like I could have done differently for setting clear norms for the group. For example, the cell phones. I did send them a survey afterwards when they had gotten home and they all completed it. And I learned a lot from that. And I'll attach it or somehow let that be shown to everybody so they can see. To sum it up, I took away a lot of things. I have to be flexible when I'm doing a group meeting. It's really just what's going on in that moment. I had to be prepared to be able to redirect conversation. I took away that God will surprise you for what He's able to bring out of people when they're able to open up, and to be prepared for any topic to come out. Groups really do offer a different style of support and help for their members, and that was something else that I took away. I'll definitely be able to apply this to my future counseling skills and possible future group counseling that I do. I will have a better understanding of planning the sessions, more practice and how and why and when to use exercises like the rounds and dyads. A couple skills to enhance would be the use of exercises, cutting off politely, and then establishing the focus. I'd like to conclude with this thought that was prompted by actually one of the members the day after the meeting. She had called me and she asked a question regarding people and where they find their worth. She said, "I don't know, but you're really," this was her quote, "I don't know, but you really helped me make that connection last night. That it's not just people from awful broken families that struggle with their self-worth, but that everyone struggles in one way or another with where they find their worth." And this is what it's about. This is what counseling is all about. Helping others come to that realization that they have been needing and providing hope, just as Jesus did. So I'll leave you with that, and I thank you.